Well, welcome back. Companies are pulling out of the Net Zero Insurance Alliance after state attorneys general started asking for more information. The group of AGs calling out insurance companies joining the Climate Alliance, writing in a letter last month, quote, "We are concerned with the legality of your commitments to collaborate with other insurers and asset owners in order to advance an activist's climate agenda." Joining me right now is Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes. AG Reyes, good to see you. Thanks very much for being here, and I know that you helped lead this effort. What's going on?
Well, Maria, we wrote this letter because there are all these horizontal agreements that leverage the incredible market dominance of these insurance companies, banks, asset owners, and in particular, the Net Zero Insurance Alliance has put immense pressure on their own members. Again, these are the largest insurance companies around the world, to force them or essentially pass on to their insureds a very activist climate agenda, essentially the Paris Agreement of net zero by 2050. So this raises insurance prices. This makes it harder for businesses to keep their insurance under these threats. And because of that, we believe that there may be violations of antitrust laws. And Maria, there's no climate activist exception for antitrust laws in the United States, but they also may well be violative of state insurance laws. These laws that say you can't premise coverage or raise prices or premiums on anything but insurability. And clearly here, they're considering far more than just the underwriting.
So what has been the impact?
Well, Maria, they haven't yet provided the documents that we've requested, but perhaps even better, at least half of the members of the Net Zero Insurance Alliance have left the organization. We feel that that's a validation of our concerns. That we don't think that they would be leaving if they thought everything was kosher, if they thought everything was going well and right in that organization. I think they realize that there is a lot of exposure because, again, of this cabal, this massive coordination, if you will, of an agenda that does not help, ultimately, Americans. Their insureds are being targeted because of their policies, and we're very pleased to see that so many of the members have left the NZIA.
Well, how far are you willing to take this? And is the influence coming from the Biden administration, or is it the climate activists dictating the Biden administration's policies around it? Because we know that the administration has an all-of-government approach to ESG and this climate agenda.
It's a combination of all of the above, Maria. I think it is the UN, it is foreign entities and influence combined with the Biden administration. The Biden administration may well just be the vehicle for this agenda. But again, now you have the combination of government and this all-of-government approach with the private sector, and that's the very dangerous and devious part of all of this, and that's why, as state AGs, 23 of us must stand up, and we are willing to take it, to answer your question, as far as we need to. We were willing to investigate beyond just insurers. There are banking alliances, there are asset owners, there are fund managers, and we've sent similar inquiries and will continue to do so across this entire ecosystem of the financial sector.
Yeah, but how do you change that? I mean, you look at a firm like BlackRock, you know, they are, at the end of the day, everybody or most companies' largest shareholder, and they're going to vote the way they want to vote.
Well, we think that this type of pressure not only awakens the American public to the reality of what you just articulated, Maria, but we believe that even entities as large as BlackRock, and they manage trillions of dollars, that they are not immune to lawsuits. They are not immune to the pressure that we as state attorneys general can put on them. We do think that this is changing their behavior. It's forcing them to become more responsive and to stand up and be more transparent. We have a case before FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, right now regarding BlackRock, to your point. And we believe that this very well may change how BlackRock approaches its investment strategies.
All right, let me ask you, switch gears in this final few minutes that we have. You're urging the Senate to also pass the Halt Fentanyl Act. We've been talking about all of these illicit drugs flowing through the wide open border now for years, 2 years. Your thoughts?
Well, let me say right off the bat that we do need the Halt Fentanyl Act to pass. It will empower us as law enforcement and criminal justice leaders to be able to fight back against this tidal wave of illicit drugs, particularly fentanyl and their analogs that have come across the border due to the abdication of any rule of law, due to the open border policies of the Biden administration. So this Halt Fentanyl Act is a step forward and is a positive one. It gives us the ability, and we're asking Congress to essentially force the DEA to list as controlled substances. Even more dangerous than fentanyl are some of these analogs like acetylfentanyl, carfentanil, and cartels have been able to get around the law and use loopholes.
Wow.
We're trying to tighten those up through this.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, we know how much the cartels are making every day through drug trafficking and the human smuggling. AG, good to see you. Thanks very much. We'll be watching your efforts. Sean Reyes joining us this morning in Utah. We'll be right back. Stay with us.